Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Thursday, February 23, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want to access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. Boston Celtics versus Indiana Pacers. Boston is just too good at both ends of the court for the Indiana Pacers to win or cover. Boston is 4th in scoring and 7th in points allowed, and the Celtics will take advantage of a weak perimeter defense for Indiana that is allowing a three-point shooting percentage of 37.4%. Boston is shooting 37.8% from behind the line, which is 6th highest in league play. Boston has covered the spread in each of its last 6 games, and the Celtics have covered the spread in 25 of the last 38 played on the road against a team with a winning record at home. Indiana has failed to cover the spread in 12 of its last 17. Boston's scoring duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who are averaging a combined 57.1 points per game, will be too much for the Pacers' defense to contain. Our team pick is Boston Celtics. The total has finished over in 8 of the last 11 meetings between Boston and Indiana, as well as in 6 of the last 7 that Boston has played in Indiana. As mentioned previously, Boston is 4th best in scoring, while Indiana is 22nd in points allowed. Indiana's perimeter defense allows a three-point shooting percentage of 37.4%, which is next to last, and Boston has a three-point shooting percentage of 37.8%, which is 6th best. Our total pick is over. Detroit Pistons versus Orlando Magic. The Magic and Pistons are headed in different directions leading into the second half of the year. Detroit is at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, losing 5 of 6 before the break, engaging their pieces for next season. Orlando won 3 straight before losing against Toronto, but they are 4 games back of a playoff spot. Considering they were not expected to compete for anything special this year, that is a promising development for such a young team. Look for Banchero to establish himself against an awful Detroit front line, and the Magic to come away with an easy win and cover coming out of the break. Take the Magic to win easily. The Pistons and Magic are in the middle of the pack with respect to the pace of play entering this Eastern Conference meeting. To nobody's surprise, Detroit is 29th in defensive rating as they typically run track meets, allowing opposing teams to routinely drop 120-plus points per game. It is a lost season for Detroit, and they will trot out whatever young talent is at their disposal. And that means bad shots and bad defense. The total number has gone under in 6 of Detroit's last 9 games. I expect them to lose, and the Magic to cover, but both clubs will put up their fair share of points. Orlando is not exactly a juggernaut defensively, ranked 19th in rating. Take the over 228 points. Denver Nuggets versus Cleveland Cavaliers. The Nuggets head into the stretch run of the season playing some of the best basketball out of anyone in the NBA, holding a 41-18 record and leading the Western Conference. Last week before the break, they outlasted the short-handed Dallas Mavericks 118-109. Reserve Jeff Green scored a season-high 24 points, and Nikola Jokic notched his 21st triple-double of the season. It has been a smooth ride for Denver this year, and they are headed toward home court advantage in the West. Cleveland is a juggernaut, and they will be a tough out in the playoffs. The edge in this one lies in Denver's three-point shooting. They lead the NBA in three-point percentage, 39.3%, and face a Cleveland team ranked 20th in three-point defense. Look for Denver to rain triples on the road and come away with a win. Take Denver plus 2.5 points. The Cavaliers are last in pace of play entering this showdown between 2 of the best teams in the NBA. Cleveland is looking to continue their excellent play before the break, holding a 38-23 record and sitting in 4th place in an extremely competitive Eastern Conference. They suffered a setback in their final dress rehearsal, a 118-112 loss to the Philadelphia 76ers, but they are playing a fresh brand of basketball. I expect Denver to come away with a win here, but this will be a hard-fought, low-scoring game dominated by Jokic's pace and Mitchell's ability to get into the paint. Both clubs are in the top 5 in rebounding percentage, which is not surprising considering how dominant each has been all year. Take the under 221.5 points with confidence. Memphis Grizzlies vs Philadelphia 76ers. Philadelphia has been great against the spread team while also playing much better basketball at home. Both teams will be well rested, so the tempo could be fast in this one, but the 76ers are 33-23-1 ATS, which ranks second in the NBA and is a home favorite. The 76ers are 16-10. Memphis, meanwhile, is just 26-29-2 ATS. The difference in this game is the location, as both teams look like two different teams on the home versus the road, and the 76ers being at home will play a big role. Embiid, meanwhile, will be able to limit Brandon Clark in the post, while Clark likely won't be able to slow Philly's big name down. Take the 76ers at minus 3.5 points. I also like the under in this matchup, as after the All-Star break I do expect a bit of rust and shots not to fall early on. Although Philadelphia is 33-23-1 in hitting the over, which ranks second, Memphis is 30-25-2 in hitting the under, while on the road. The Grizzlies are 16-12 in hitting the under. Memphis is playing at a pace of 104.3, which does rank second, but their offensive efficiency ranks 20th, while the 76ers are playing at a pace of 99.7, which ranks 25th. Finally, in the Grizzlies' last 5 games, the games are averaging 218.6 ppg, while Philadelphia's last 10 games are averaging 215.6 ppg. Take the under 228.5 points. New Orleans Pelicans vs Toronto Raptors. Toronto has struggled this season and will be fighting for a play-in spot, but at home, the Raptors have been better and get a favorable matchup against the Pelicans. New Orleans was one of the best teams in the NBA when Zion was healthy, but without him and on the road, the Pelicans have struggled. Toronto is 14-11 against the spread as a home favorite, while New Orleans is 6-12-1 ATS as a road underdog. The Raptors are getting healthy, and getting Anunoby and Young back will help their defense and will be able to shut down this New Orleans offense. Take Toronto minus 3 to cover. I also like the under in this matchup, as on the road and without Williamson, the Pelicans' offense hasn't been the same. Meanwhile, Toronto's defense is getting a big boost with Anunoby, Trent Jr., and Young healthy, while their offense often struggles at times to knock down shots, which is why I like the under here. The Raptors are playing at a pace of 100.1, which ranks 24th, while their offensive efficiency ranks 13th, while New Orleans is playing at a pace of 102, which ranks 15th, as I expect a slow-paced game and both teams to be a bit rusty after the break. Finally, in the Pelicans' last 5 games, their games are averaging 222.6 ppg, while Toronto's last 10 games are averaging 226 ppg. Take the under 227.5 points. Dallas Mavericks vs San Antonio Spurs. Neither of these squads have been good against the number this season. The Spurs are 23-45 ATS overall, while the Mavs are 22-36 ATS overall. However, the Spurs are a surprising 8-7 ATS when playing on the road against a team with a winning record, and the Mavs are only 2-6-1 ATS when playing on their home hardwood against a team with a losing record. The Spurs keep it close late with a big game from their leading scorer Keldon Johnson. Final score prediction: the Dallas Mavericks win, but the San Antonio Spurs cover ATS. Our team pick is San Antonio Spurs plus 13.5 points. This is a great time for the Dallas Mavericks to face a bad team, as they are in the midst of a 3-game slide. Last time out, the Mavericks lost to the Nuggets by 9 points, 118-109. Mavericks stud Luka Doncic went for 37 points and 9 assists in that loss to Denver. New addition Kyrie Irving sat out with lower back soreness. Irving is still listed as questionable for this matchup on Thursday. The San Antonio Spurs probably needed the All-Star break more than any other team. They have lost 14 straight games, and it doesn't get much easier facing the likes of Doncic and Irving right out of the gate. Their most recent loss came at the hands of the Charlotte Hornets by a score of 120-110. Former Buckeye Malaki Branham led the Spurs with 23 points in that loss at Charlotte. The Spurs' record hasn't been any good this season, but they have covered ATS a lot this season. Depth side only have 14 wins. Our total pick under 234.5 points. Utah Jazz vs Oklahoma City Thunder. The Utah Jazz open the second half of the season desperately needing wins and will do so Thursday night. Look for Utah to control this game on both sides of the ball with their depth and size against Oklahoma City. Take Utah to open the NBA second half with a home victory Thursday night. Final score prediction: Utah Jazz win. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the way for the Oklahoma City offense with 29 points and 6 assists in 29 minutes of action. Luguentz Dort poured in 15 points and Josh Giddey added 13 points and 6 assists in 25 minutes as well. Dario Saric led the way off the Oklahoma City bench with 12 points on 6 shots in 14 minutes of action. The Utah Jazz opened the second half of the season 2 games under .500 after a 6-point loss to Memphis in their last game. Defensively, Utah did play well as Memphis shot only 40.2% from the floor and 35% from beyond the arc, but the Grizzlies made 17 free throws to secure the victory against Utah. Offensively, the Jazz shot the ball extremely well, making 46.2% of their shots but made just 78.9% of their free throws and committed 24 turnovers, leading to the loss. Kelly Olynyk led the way for the Utah offense with 28 points and 14 rebounds in 37 minutes of action. Jordan Clarkson chipped in 20 points in 35 minutes and big man Walker Kessler added 10 points and 14 rebounds as well. Talen Horton-Tucker led the way off the Utah bench with 15 points in 32 minutes of action. Our total pick is under 239.5 points. Los Angeles Lakers vs. Golden State Warriors. Both the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers have covered the spread in 4 of their last 10 games played. The Lakers beat the Warriors by 6 points in their last meeting earlier this month. Golden State has been awful on the road this season, and a game without Curry calls for a loss. Lay the points with the Lakers at home. Final score prediction: Los Angeles Lakers win and cover. Take Los Angeles Lakers minus 5.5 points. The Golden State Warriors have 4 players who are averaging double-digit points per game. Steph Curry leads the Warriors with 29.4 points per game. Golden State lost their last game played 134-124 against the Clippers. Jordan Poole led the Warriors in the loss with 28 points scored. The Los Angeles Lakers beat the Pelicans at home 120-102 in their last game played. Anthony Davis led the Lakers in the win with 28 points and 10 rebounds. Davis is averaging 26 points scored per game on the season. LeBron James leads the Lakers on the season with 30 points per game. The Los Angeles Lakers are 13th in the Western Conference with a 27-32 record. The Lakers have won 4 of their last 10 games and are 14-14 on their home court. Los Angeles is 5th best in the NBA with 45.3 rebounds per game. Anthony Davis leads the Lakers on the season with 12.9 rebounds per game. Our total pick is under 238 points. Portland Trail Blazers vs. Sacramento Kings. Looking at the offenses in the last few games before the All-Star break, Portland is averaging 119 points in their last 3 games, while Sacramento is scoring 125.2 points in their previous 5 games. On the defensive side of the floor, the 3-point percentage against shows a bit of a difference, as the Trail Blazers are 27th in the sport with a 37 3-point percentage against, while the Kings are 22nd with a 36.7 opposing 3-point percentage. The Trail Blazers are just 2-9 ATS in their last 11 road games, so go with the Sacramento Kings to cover the spread in their own building. Take Sacramento minus 5.5 points. Both of these teams have been 2 of the best NBA offensive teams according to their adjusted offensive ratings provided by Dunks and Threes. The Kings are 2nd in the NBA with a 117.6 adjusted offensive rating, while the Trail Blazers are 5th in the sport with a 116.8 adjusted offensive rating thus far. These teams are both getting to the free throw line at a great rate, as Portland is 7th in basketball with 25.2 free throw attempts per game, while Sacramento is 11th with 24.8 trips to the charity stripe. The over has hit in 5 of the previous 7 Trail Blazers as well as in 5 of the last 6 Kings games, so go with over 239.5 points in this game.